You're not winning yet, and you know it. You feel it when you wake up. You feel it when you look in the mirror. You feel it every time you scroll through your feed and see someone doing what you know you could be doing if only you got serious. Let's stop lying to ourselves. You're not losing because the world is unfair. You're not behind because someone else had more help. You're not stuck because of your past, your parents, or your pain. You're stuck because you're still making excuses. You're still negotiating with your goals. You're still talking more than you execute. It's not about luck. It's not about motivation. It's about the fact that you still haven't decided to go all in. You think you're grinding, but you're really just being busy. You say you want success, but you keep choosing comfort. You keep hitting the snooze button on your own potential. That's why you're not winning yet. But here's the truth. Your comeback doesn't start when things are perfect. Your comeback starts the moment you stop bullshitting yourself. You want results. You want to rise. You want to be the person you keep imagining. Then earn it daily, relentlessly, with zero apologies and zero excuses. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you the crown. You want it. You take it with blood, sweat, and focus. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next year, right now. Let this be the turning point, not the excuse, not the delay, the turning point, where you stop living like a shadow of who you could be and start showing the world what unstoppable looks like. It's time to win. It's time to rise. It's time for your greatest comeback. You're not winning yet because you're not honest with yourself. You say you want success, but your actions don't reflect it. You talk a big game, but when it's time to show up, you disappear. You post motivation, but you don't live it. You tell others you're grinding, but inside, you know you're cutting corners. You know the truth, but you avoid it. You know the habits that are destroying your potential, but you keep repeating them. You know what needs to be done, but you keep waiting for the right mood, the right moment, the right motivation. And every single day you wait, someone else is out there taking your spot. Someone with less talent. Someone with fewer resources. Someone with every reason to quit. But they don't, because they're honest about where they are. They own their weaknesses. They accept the pain. They embrace the process. But you're still playing small. You're still hoping you can shortcut the grind. Still hoping success will come without sacrifice. Still hoping someone will recognize your potential instead of your results. You tell yourself you're working hard, but deep down you know you're not giving it everything. You tell yourself you're patient, but what you really are is inconsistent. You blame your past, but the truth is, you're just afraid to face your future. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more time. You need to stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you're doing all you can when you're not even close. Stop acting like life is unfair when you haven't even tried to give it your all. The mirror doesn't lie. Your results don't lie. Your habits don't lie. You want to win. Start by facing the brutal truth. You've been in your own way this whole time. Not your parents. Not your boss. Not your friends. Not society. It's you. You've been talking instead of executing. Planning instead of doing. Waiting instead of acting. And until you get real about that, until you stare down your excuses and call them out for what they are, you will stay stuck in the same cycle, stuck in the same disappointment, stuck in the same version of yourself that you're tired of being. But honesty, raw, brutal honesty is the key, because once you stop lying to yourself, you finally see how much power you actually have. You realize the only thing standing between who you are and who you could be is the work you refuse to do, and once you own that, everything can change. Excuses are the root cause, not circumstances. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. It's easier to blame the environment. It's easier to blame the economy, your past, your parents, your boss, your trauma. It's easier to say, I can't, than to admit I won't. Because when you admit it's an excuse, you accept responsibility. And responsibility means it's on you to fix it. It's on you to rise above it. But that's where power begins. Most people live their whole lives wrapped in a blanket of blame. They never step into their potential because they're too busy defending their limitations. You don't understand, I don't have time. You don't understand, I wasn't given the same opportunities. You don't understand, I've been through so much. No asterisk, you asterisk don't understand. Every successful person you admire had to face something hard. Some had less than you, some went through worse, but they didn't let that be the reason they stayed small. They didn't let their circumstances write their story. They made a decision. They said, I don't care what I came from. I care where I'm going. That's what separates winners from everyone else. Not talent, not privilege, not even luck. It's the decision to stop making excuses and start making progress. Yes, you may have been hurt. Yes, you may have been left behind. Yes, you may be dealing with more than most, but the game doesn't care. Life doesn't slow down for your wounds. It doesn't pause for your pain. It moves forward, and if you don't move with it, you get left behind. That's the brutal truth. Your circumstances aren't the problem. Your response to them is. You can either let them become a prison, or you can use them as fuel, but you can't do both. You can't be a victim and a victor at the same time. You can't whine and win. You have to choose. Excuses are seductive. They make you feel safe. They give you something to fall back on when things get hard. But the longer you lean on them, the weaker you become. You don't grow when you justify your failures. You grow when you own them, when you say, this is on me and I will fix it. That's where the shift happens. That's where the comeback begins, not when life gets easier. But when you get stronger, excuses are the chains holding you back from everything you say you want. Break them, because the moment you stop explaining why you can't, you'll finally start discovering how you can. Most people confuse activity with productivity. They stay busy all day, but they're not getting anywhere. They check boxes, they run errands, they answer messages, they attend meetings, and at the end of the day, they feel tired but not fulfilled. Because being busy doesn't mean you're making progress. It just means you're moving, but not always in the right direction. They tell themselves they're working hard. They tell themselves they're hustling. But deep down, they know they're avoiding the real work, the hard work, the work that actually moves the needle, the work that demands focus, discipline, discomfort. See, productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most with intensity, with purpose, with consistency. But that's not sexy. That doesn't get applause. So instead, most people stay busy. They organize their desk. They rewrite their to-do list. They plan the perfect schedule, and then they wonder why nothing changes, why their business doesn't grow, why their body doesn't transform, why their life feels stuck on repeat. It's because they're mistaking motion for progress. They're doing what feels productive instead of what asterisk is asterisk productive. And often, the most productive things are the ones you avoid. The conversation you've been putting off, the reps you skip at the gym, the decisions you keep delaying, the dreams you keep over-planning and under-executing. You don't get rewarded for how busy you look. You get rewarded for what you produce. You get rewarded for results. And results come from focus, not frenzy, from depth, not distraction, from doing fewer things better, not everything all at once. So stop measuring your effort by how many hours you spent on something. Start measuring by how much progress you actually made. Did you get closer to your goal? Did you solve the real problem? Did you grow? If not, then you were just busy. And being busy is the easiest way to trick yourself into thinking you're winning. It keeps you comfortable, it keeps you distracted, but it never gets you where you really want to be. So ask yourself, are you actually being productive today, or are you just moving in circles? Are you building something? Or are you just checking tasks off a list to feel good? Because the truth is, productivity isn't found in the chaos. It's found in clarity, in ruthless prioritization, in doing the real work that counts, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching. Most people confuse activity with productivity, but you can't afford to make that mistake anymore. Success doesn't wait for perfect timing, it requires action now. Too many people are sitting on their dreams, waiting for things to line up just right. Waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect mindset. But life doesn't work like that. The truth is, there is no perfect time. There never will be. You will always have something in your way. You will always have doubts. You will always feel like you're not quite ready. And if you keep waiting, you'll be waiting your whole life. Success doesn't come to the most prepared, it comes to the most committed. It comes to the ones who take action despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, despite the chaos, because they understand that progress is always messy, growth is uncomfortable, and greatness never arrives on schedule. The people who win don't wait for permission. They don't wait to feel confident. They move. They build while they bleed. They step forward while their legs are shaking. They take risks before they feel ready, because they know the cost of waiting is far greater than the cost of failing. While you're stuck in planning mode, someone else is doing. While you're hesitating, someone else is learning through action. While you're preparing for every possible scenario, someone else is building momentum, and that momentum is what separates the successful from the spectators. No one gets it perfect. No one has it all figured out. They just start, they show up, they take one imperfect step after another, and over time, that imperfect action creates extraordinary results. You don't need more time. You don't need more signs. You need to move. You need to trust that clarity comes through motion, not in stillness. You grow by doing. You learn by trying. You get stronger by facing what you're afraid of. But if you keep chasing perfect timing, you'll keep missing real opportunity. And those opportunities, they don't last forever. Doors close, seasons change, people move on. You either act now or regret later. There's no middle ground, so stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself you'll start when things calm down. Stop saying next week, next month, next year, because success doesn't care about your timeline. It only shows up for the ones who show up for themselves, right now, not when it's easy, not when it's convenient. But when it's time and asterisk, it's always time asterisk. The question is, will you move, or will you keep waiting for a moment that will never come? You must stop negotiating with your goals. You say you want it. You say you're committed. You say you'll do whatever it takes. But the moment things get uncomfortable, you start making deals with yourself. You start adjusting the goal to fit your mood. You start changing the plan to fit your laziness. You start telling yourself it's okay to skip one workout. It's okay to sleep in just this once. It's okay to push things off until tomorrow, and that's the problem. You keep giving yourself an out. You keep finding ways to soften the pressure instead of rising to meet it. You treat your goals like suggestions, not promises, but if your goal can be negotiated, then it was never a real goal. It was a wish, a fantasy, something you hoped would magically happen as long as it didn't cost too much effort. That's not how champions think. That's not how winners operate. They don't adjust the goal to fit their weakness. They adjust their mindset to meet the standard. They don't cut deals with excuses. They kill them. They don't lower the bar. They rise above it. You say you want to win, then act like it. Discipline isn't optional. Commitment isn't flexible. The work doesn't care how you feel. Your goals don't care about your excuses. You either show up or you don't. You either execute or you don't. And every time you break a promise to yourself, you lose trust. Every time you let yourself off the hook, you teach yourself that quitting is acceptable, that mediocrity is okay, that average is enough, and that mindset will never get you where you want to go. You must become non-negotiable, locked in, all in, because the truth is, most people don't fail because they don't have what it takes. They fail because they never fully commit. They keep playing halfway. They keep 1 foot in and 1 foot out. They say, I'll try. Winners say, I will. They don't wait to feel like it. They don't wait for motivation. They get up and they go to war every single day. You want to change your life, then stop entertaining your excuses. Stop rewriting the contract with your goals every time life gets tough. You made a promise. Now keep it. No more back and forth. No more maybe tomorrow. No more I don't feel like it. The result doesn't care. The finish line doesn't move for your emotions. You either become the kind of person who honors their goals no matter what, or you keep losing to yourself. But you can't do both. Comfort is the silent killer of greatness. It doesn't scream. It doesn't announce its presence. It sneaks in quietly. One skipped workout, one extra hour of sleep, one more excuse. And before you know it, you're stuck. Not because you're incapable, but because you got too comfortable. Comfort feels good in the moment. It tells you to rest when you should push. It tells you you've done enough when you've barely started. It whispers, you deserve a break. When what you really need is momentum. It's seductive, it's easy, and it's dangerous because it convinces you to settle, to back off, to stop chasing the fire that once burned inside you. Comfort makes you forget what you're capable of. It makes you forget the hunger, the reason you started, the vision you had before life softened you, before you started choosing ease over excellence. Greatness doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the struggle, in the grind, in the late nights, early mornings, and the sacrifices no one claps for. It lives in the pain most people avoid, and that's why most people never find it. Because comfort is safe. Comfort is predictable, but nothing about greatness is safe. Nothing about growth is predictable. It requires risk. It demands discipline. It needs you to walk straight into discomfort and stay there. You can't chase greatness and comfort at the same time. They don't coexist. One feeds your potential, the other buries it. Every time you choose comfort, you choose to remain the same. Every time you avoid hard things, you avoid becoming who you were meant to be. Your best self lives on the other side of discomfort, and most people never get there, not because they're weak, but because they're soft, because they choose what's easy over what's necessary. They say things like, I'm good where I'm at, but deep down they're not. They know they're playing small, they know they've got more inside, but they're scared of what it takes to bring it out. Comfort convinces you to stay in the middle, not failing, but not winning either. Not broken, but not built, just stuck, safe, average, and if you're not careful, years will go by. You'll wake up one day wondering where your fire went, wondering what happened to that version of you that wanted more. That version is still there, but it's dying a little every day you choose comfort over courage. Every day you choose the couch over the challenge. Every day you choose now over what could be. Comfort kills dreams quietly. Not with one blow, but with 1,000 tiny choices. And by the time you notice, it's already buried your potential. Real change begins when you take extreme ownership, not partial ownership, not halfway accountability. Asterisk extreme asterisk ownership. That means no more blaming anyone, no more pointing fingers, no more hiding behind circumstances, people, or excuses. It means standing up and saying, this is my life. I own every piece of it. Your results are yours. Your habits are yours. Your pain, your progress, your potential, it's all in your hands. And until you own it, you can't change it. As long as you keep blaming your job, you won't build what you want. As long as you keep blaming your past, you'll stay stuck in it. As long as you keep waiting for someone to fix it, nothing will get better because no one is coming. No one's going to hand you a new mindset. No one's going to gift you a breakthrough. It starts with you. You have to call yourself out. You have to look in the mirror and admit the truth. You haven't done what you said you would do. You haven't lived up to the standard you set for yourself. You haven't shown up like someone who's serious about winning. That's not weakness, that's awareness, and that awareness is where everything changes. Because once you realize it's on you, you also realize you have the power to fix it. You can build the discipline, you can break the patterns, you can flip the switch, but only if you stop looking outward and start looking inward. Most people never change because they never own their responsibility. They keep playing the victim. They keep justifying mediocrity. They keep telling stories that protect their comfort. But real growth starts when you stop protecting your feelings and start protecting your future. You want to level up, own your time, own your energy, own your attitude, your mindset, your work ethic, own your morning, own your night, own the decisions that no one sees because those are the ones that shape everything. You don't need perfect circumstances, you need personal responsibility. You need to stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What am I going to do about it?" That's what separates those who transform from those who talk. The ones who change don't wait, they don't blame, they asterisk own. Asterisk even when it's unfair, even when it hurts, even when it would be easier to hide, they face it head on, they take the hit and keep moving. Because they understand that the moment they take full ownership is the moment they take full control. That's when the breakthrough happens. That's when the excuses die. That's when real change begins. No one is going to save you, it's all on you. Read that again, let it sink in. No one is coming to pull you out of the hole. No one is going to hand you the life you dream about. No one is going to fight your battles for you. It's your war, your responsibility, your life. People might care, they might even support you, but at the end of the day, they can't walk your path for you. They can't wake up and force you to grind. They can't drag you through the pain you need to face. Only you can do that. You can wait for someone to save you, or you can realize no one's coming and get to work. The world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't slow down because you're tired or broken or scared. Life keeps moving, and if you don't move with it, it will leave you behind. There is no perfect mentor who's going to show up at the right moment. No magic opportunity that's going to fall into your lap. You create your opportunity through action. You build your way out brick by brick. But most people won't do that. Most people wait. They wait for inspiration. They wait for the right time. They wait for someone to push them. And while they wait, their dreams die, slowly, quietly. Because the truth is, waiting is just a way of avoiding responsibility. It feels easier. It feels safer, but it's the reason you stay stuck, the reason you stay small. You want more, then take more responsibility. Stop looking around and start looking within. You have what it takes, but you won't unlock it until you stop expecting someone else to do it for you. No one's going to wake you up early. No one's going to hold your hand through the pain. No one's going to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. It's on you to show up. It's on you to do the work when no one's watching. It's on you to push past fear, doubt, failure, and every obstacle that tries to break you. That's the price of greatness. That's the weight you carry when you decide to become more. And yeah, it's heavy. But that weight builds strength. That pressure creates diamonds. You just have to stop waiting for someone to lift it for you. The life you want is possible, but it's only possible if you realize the truth. No one is going to save you. It's all on you. Daily discipline, not random motivation, creates transformation. You don't need more hype. You don't need another feel. Good quote. You don't need to scroll through more videos hoping one of them will finally click. What you need is consistency. What you need is structure. What you need is the discipline to show up every single day, especially when you don't feel like it. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. It's an emotion, not a strategy. Some days you'll wake up fired up. Other days you'll feel empty, tired, and unmotivated. But the work still has to be done. The habits still need to be followed. The reps still need to be completed. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has disappeared. Discipline is keeping your word to yourself, no matter how you feel. Discipline is showing up at 5 a.m. when your body is begging you to sleep. Discipline is hitting the gym, even on the days your mind says skip it. Discipline is writing, creating, building, training even when no one's watching and no one's clapping. Because that's where transformation is born, not in the big moments, but in the small, quiet, consistent choices you make when it would be easier to quit. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can grind for a week. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when life gets heavy? Do you fall off? Do you start over again and again, never getting anywhere? Or do you lock in and stay the course? The ones who transform, who truly evolve, they're not the most hyped, they're the most consistent. They don't rely on how they feel. They rely on what they do. They build systems, they follow routines, they execute regardless of emotion, and over time, that repetition rewires everything. It changes how they think, how they act, how they see themselves, because discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it's real, and it's the only way. You can chase motivation all you want, but it will never carry you to the finish line. Discipline will, day by day, brick by brick, unseen, uncelebrated, until one day the results speak so loud you don't have to. Transformation isn't a moment, it's a process, and that process demands daily discipline. Your greatest comeback begins the moment you stop lying to yourself, not when you get lucky, not when someone finally believes in you, not when the timing is perfect. It starts the second you look in the mirror and get brutally honest. Honest about your effort, honest about your habits, honest about the fact that you haven't given it your all, that you've been cutting corners, that you've been talking more than doing, that you've been pretending you want it while secretly avoiding the work. You can't fake your way to greatness, you can't lie your way to progress, and you definitely can't cheat your way to a comeback. It starts with truth, the kind that stings, the kind that strips away all your excuses and leaves you face to face with reality. You're not where you want to be because of you, not your circumstances, not your parents, not your boss, you, and that's not weakness, that's power, because once you own it, you can change it, you can shift the story. You can break the patterns, you can rewrite everything, but only if you stop lying. Lying that you're working hard when you know you're not. Lying that you're stuck when you haven't even tried consistently. Lying that you're waiting for the right time when you're really just scared. You say you want a comeback, but you keep protecting your comfort. You say you're ready, but your actions don't match your words. You keep playing small and calling it patience. You keep holding back and calling it strategy, but deep down you know the truth. You've been afraid to go all in. You've been afraid to demand more from yourself. Because deep down you know that once you do, there are no more excuses. Just the work, just the grind, just the responsibility to show up every day and prove you meant it. And that's where the comeback begins. When you stop selling yourself short, when you stop telling yourself stories that keep you safe but stagnant, when you finally say, I've had enough. Enough of the lies, enough of the waiting, enough of the half-effort and the false starts. That moment, that brutal, honest, unforgiving moment is the first step back. Back to who you were meant to be, back to the fire you lost, back to the hunger you buried, because the truth is, your comeback isn't a second chance. It's a decision, and that decision only happens when you get real, when you strip away the mask, when you call yourself out, and when you finally stop lying to yourself. So now the question is simple. Are you ready to stop lying to yourself? Are you ready to stop living below your potential? Because the truth is, no one else can make that choice for you. Your comeback won't be built on talk. It won't be built on hope. It will be built on honesty, discipline, and action day in, day out. You don't need a miracle. You need a decision. You don't need motivation. You need truth. The truth that says you've still got more in you. The truth that says you're not finished. And the truth that says your greatest comeback starts right now. So stand up, lock in, and make the rest of your story the most powerful part. Not because it was easy, but because you finally chose to face the truth and rise. So here's the truth, the pain, the failure, the delay, the doubt. They weren't the end of your story. They were the beginning of your rise. The world hasn't seen the best of you yet, and now that the lies are gone, now that the excuses are dead, it's just you, your potential, and the work. This is your moment to stop circling rock bottom and start climbing. To stop shrinking and start swinging, to stop surviving and start dominating. No more waiting, no more blaming, no more backing down when it gets uncomfortable. From this moment on, you move different. You think different. You live different. Not because someone gave you permission, but because you finally gave it to yourself. Your greatest comeback doesn't start tomorrow. It doesn't start next week. It starts now. Right here, right where you are. No more lies, no more limits, just the rise. Let them watch.